was about 6 when I went there, but I left when I was about 10, or it might have been 12. I went to school there, and would have been about 30 of us. And I learned to sew. We had one day, half a day sewing, and the boys had sports that day. I know our teacher's name too, Peter Gobert. He was our first teacher.
I went to school there, but the schooling there was old Peter, where's the calling?
Oh, Peter Gobert.
He'd get us in at 10 o'clock, he'd let us out when the sun went down.
Yeah, that's right.
But I learnt to typewrite all my poetry. I was only 8.
Yeah.
All my poetry still in the book in there.
Yeah.
And things like that. And you couldn't drop a pen on the floor, otherwise you had your hand out for 2. What get me about them was they come out here, they had to work, they didn't get any assistance, and they had to produce to survive. And that's what they done. That's what I've been learned to do all my life. You got to produce. You don't grow flowers because you can't eat them.
They didn't have flowers them days. They did it with hoes, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did it with the hoes and shovels. And what was the trees they grew? The silkworm, yeah. So they could knit or crochet. Tell you, all the houses had cellars. You walked down steps to mud, didn't you, Ernie? And that's where you kept everything cold. They were built when we got there, weren't
Even
they?
the house we lived in,
Yeah,
it was made of slabs and everything like that. It was a 2-storey building
yeah.
with a cellar underneath. We lived in up top. That was all built out of wood, was all squared and everything like that. I don't know about the floor. All that was done before our days. Even the coal mine, that was up at Moonham, wasn't it, Moonham?
Yes,
Yeah,
Moonham.
I didn't know about that. But that's
No.
where the mill was too.
Yeah,
The house and everything was built, and I had the privilege of going back to my grandfather. We had every fruit tree under the sun. We didn't have fruit fly them days. I remember the long row of peaches we had. We could go there any time of the day and eat a peach, and you never had to worry about it. Then we had half an acre of ground. We used to grow our peas and beans. You'd grow them, you'd dry them out after the winter fodder. Yeah,
everybody had a pear tree.
we had all those. Yeah.
Everybody had the grapes.
Oh, I remember the grapes.
Remember they used to give you 2 shillings for a bucket of grapes.
when we were making wine,
Yeah,
after the first 2 or 3 days,
yeah.
they used to take the wine off. Oh boy, but it was beautiful.
And when they had a wine day, they all used to make the wine on the one big day, didn't they? And gather up and they had this big vat and they used to stamp the grapes, get the stones.
That went into making vinegar.
That's right, yeah. And the ladies used to chip, didn't they? Used to work hard, didn't they?
Oh, well, it was all one together.
They used to wear, remember they used to wear a big scarf over their head, didn't they, the ladies?
Yeah.
They all had long hair. Had your own chook.
The sausages,
Yeah, Italian sausage they
the
used to call
bacon,
them, didn't
the
they?
bacon would be slabs of bacon out of the pigs. And they'd all be smoked. It would last for
Different
Right.
sausages today, isn't it? The big ones we used to make. They used to make and they used to hang them up in the cellars. That's what the cellars were for. The real Mrs. Padrini, she couldn't speak Australian when she first come, could she?
Well, they were all the same, wasn't they? They couldn't speak English,
Yeah,
but they soon learnt it somehow.
yeah. And Woodburn, they used to bring the bread out, didn't they?
Oh, everything was
Every week to
delivered
get
them
the
days.
bread and the mail
Yeah.
once a week. No, they used to take the wheelbarrow, didn't they, and walk to Woodburn.
Well, they had to do something because they never had anything. I know we had a horse.
When the Antnollies lived there, at the 8 Mile, didn't they? And they used to wheel the wheelbarrow in, get their groceries.
They were milking a few cows. That's where we lived. We milked a few cows and then we had to take our cream 2 or 3 mile
That's right.
whenever you sent it.
Yeah. That went to Mungawalban, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The punt, they used to call it a punt, come up to Bunga, didn't it? I think that's what they did later on. Well, when my dad, he was a bullock driver, and he used to cut logs and with the wagon, take them to Bunga to that, it used to, they used to call it the dredge punt, come down, put the logs on, take them to Ballina.
But they all made their living out of it, didn't they?
That's made a living out of it.
Yeah, there must have been more than one.
See, my dad he worked for Baggots. When they had the dances when we were there, Ethel Dorothy used to play the piano and Dad used to play the accordion, didn't he?
And Casey would play the piano.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You'll remember those. I was only 8.
Yeah. And they'd have a sing-song, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And sing in Italian. Didn't they, a lot of them?
But it's a funny thing, all these halls that were built around the district, when the people come there in the first go off, they all come in together, they had a meeting, and they built a hall, and they all built a hall together.
Yeah.
And it only cost one bloke's wages.
Yeah.
And that was only a few dollars, a few pounds.
And didn't cost us nothing to go to a dance, did it?
Geez,
No. And they didn't get paid to play the accordion or piano.
No, that was all done free.
And after a dance you'd have a sing-song and then another dance. Old time, only waltzes.
Yeah.
Old time waltz.
A lot of people there then.
Oh.
We were getting up near the last, weren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we wasn't too many left when we left.
Tony Pedrini had gone and old Paddy Pedrini had passed away.
Yeah.
And Jetty had gone.
Yeah.
And then Tony and them were sort of about leaving, weren't they?
At the, Empire Day and things like that.
Yeah.
Whiz.
It always had a big day, Empire Day, didn't we? Oh gosh, running and whatever we done, wood chopping they had. Empire Day was our special day. Yeah, Empire Day.